Well, hello people, the bike is in the same place as you did see it last time, but now I'm gonna disassemble everything again, installation, engine, and start stripping the subframe, maybe rear swing arm, and to disassemble even the frame further to decide what I'm gonna do and how deep I'm gonna go with this restoration. One is certain, I need to clean the engine. As you can see, this puddle of oil over here, that is from the neutral sensor, because there is only one screw, not the sensor inside. So I need to drain the oil and install the sensor, and let's begin again.
Guess I didn't know it would end this way. Wondering too much.
Now I'm rebuilding starter, as you can see, and I did have a problem with this starter because threads are ripped on all 3 points. As you can see, if you take the screw, you can just push it inside, and of course you can pull it outside. And because of that, I did buy helicoil set, thread repair set, and I already did those 2 spots, those 2 threads. I can say that it works perfectly because you first drill a bigger hole, 6.5 millimeters I think, and then you make threads M8. After that you install this little helicoil. Basically it's 8 millimeters on the outside and then 6 on the inside, and then you just break this little attachment point, how to say that, and that's it. Let's do this one together so I can show you how to do that. Damn it, I did forget to press record, but I've done all of those 3 threads for those bolts. After I assemble this starter, I can securely tighten down this starter. So as I said, bike is disassembled, everything like before, installation and the engine. I tried to record for you how I did repair the threads on this starter, but I actually did forget to press record, and I did repair those threads with my phone pointed at this but not recording, so that's my fault. And I did assemble from 2 faulty starters a good one, that is this one here. I already mounted it. Now I did clean the threads, trace the threads on this side of the engine, and there is the stator cover. That is the next what I'm gonna do on this bike, to cover this, and basically that is everything regardless the engine. Also I need to pour the oil, but that will be the last step when I mount the engine on the frame, because engine is heavy on itself when I need to mount it. And as I said, let's mount this stator cover. As you saw, I disassembled the oil pump, cleaned every part. Now it's assembled and back on the engine with hoses. Everything is measured. Now only thing that is left for the oil pump to work properly is the, let's say, throttle cable, but it's oil cable in this case, and this oil pump cover, just to screw the cover on the engine, and I'm finished with that part. I did have bad situation with this carburetor because I wanted to turn this pipe like this on the right. This pipe was pointing down and I was trying to turn it right, and I did grab it with pliers and twisted and broke this small part that goes here, and that part is where the hose needs to connect from the oil pump, and now I need to find something like that to replace it. And also this is, let's say, a front bracket, front subframe for the engine, something like that. From those two, let's say, subframes, only one engine mount was good. I will search for mounts like this, and that goes here, and then this one like that, and then this bracket bolts here on the front of the engine like that there. And I need to find those engine mounts to buy them, and also I need to weld one nut on this side. I already stripped the paint, I have the nut, and I want to clean everything to the bare metal and paint this. I don't know where I'm gonna find this small part, because without that I cannot connect that oil hose that will supply the two-stroke oil to the engine. Let's weld that nut over there, then I will clean it with the wire wheel and paint it. So that is the plan for now.
There's no time machine, the future's just a dream. When you gonna wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. All the time you wasted, so easily persuaded. Life is flashing by, live before you die. Are you gonna take it? All the time you wasted, acting dumb and getting faded. Grains of sand in an hourglass. Time slips away so fast. A second hand ticks away.
I cleaned those parts, and I'm gonna use two-component primer with filler. I already today sprayed first hand of paint. This will be a second hand. Hi people, this is a few days after the last clip. Those parts that you did see me painting in the last shot, those are painted. And also rear subframe, as you can see from every angle. This is the current state of the bike. Front wheel, frame with front forks, rear shock, rear swing arm. So I basically decided to do this right and strip everything down, paint rear swing arm, frame, side stand. Also I did buy a new grips for the bike. This was original grips from the factory. I need to straighten this part, this holder, because this one holds the left fairing on this bolt, and I want to try to straighten this part before I unbolt it from the frame, because here I have some, let's say, leverage. This frame holds this part for me, so I can push on it to try to straighten it. This is the main frame. I stripped everything down. I already stripped down the paint from this side using the angle grinder and wire wheel, and also just a regular drill with smaller wire wheel. This main side is done with this side that looks down. Also I already did this upper side up to half of this weld, because from the left side of this weld, your right side, is the, let's say, engine bay side, and you won't see this side that very often, because this is the side that will be seen most of the time. That is why I didn't want it to paint inside of the frame, because it's also harder to paint, and there is no damage to paint because that this side was inside and it was protected. You can see how this side has some smudges that was also on the other side, and that's the reason why I decided to paint the frame. And that is how I did the other side, that first side. Now I did take out that angle grinder and lay it down on a concrete because outside is much colder than here. Now while I'm waiting for angle grinder to cool down a bit, I'm gonna use this drill. And here is the main frame. So I did notice something. You see this part here, this part has some texture and that part is meant to have that texture, but this part here doesn't, or at least it shouldn't have any textures. It should be smooth, but as you can see here, these are the marks from the wire brush. This yellow stuff is the primer for aluminum. After that I will use this filler to get the surface smooth, but just from here towards there, you know, that is the main side that you can see, and also this side. You didn't see what happened when I was disassembling this rear swing arm. I was going to unscrew this screw, and of course I tried. Screw did rotated as usual, but didn't want to unscrew, and then I did saw that this part rotates inside this aluminum. Because of that I couldn't unscrew this screw, and also this chain slider, that chain slider was broken and I couldn't unscrew the screw to mount new chain slider, so I've decided to make chain slider from fiberglass. I did lay all of that on the bare aluminum so it holds better, and this light gray part is a gel coat. This layer will allow a chain to slide easier. This is the height of this new chain slider, probably 12 millimeters on the side, and I've used cardboard to hold resin in place until it's hard. So now I'm sanding this cardboard with this tool. This is probably the cheapest copy of original. I did buy it, let's say, 2 weeks ago. It was 50 euros, but for me it's enough. When I do stuff with fiberglass, it's great for that.
Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat, and on we'll go through the wasteland.
There is the shape of chain slider with a bit of sanding to get this side straight. That will be almost as a real part. Main frame is ready for painting, filler is sanded. Here rear swing arm did apply some filler for aluminum. I'm waiting for that to dry. There was a mark like someone did touch it with the angle grinder, and I did feel that scratch. Everything is ready for painting. Main frame, those caps, this yellow stuff is aluminum primer. Rear swing arm, this side from inside, let's say, is just primer, but those sides that you can actually see, there is also a filler. this thing also, and that thing for the rear brake, that holder.
We'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Running back through my old life, but it leaves it burning. Speaking tongues in my head, yeah, that's the way you want it. She called me baby, you're not wasting time, but how could I let her go? Don't you know I might adore you? I'm gonna make the time move slower. We can do whatever your sun's out, make the clouds move over.
Now when the painting is done, I want to clean those wheels before I start assembling everything together. This is what I did get from the central part of the wheel. I was hoping that they did use some good brand of batteries, but they didn't. This is that strip that they used.
Tick-tock, we alone now, and my thoughts are frozen now. Seeing pixels in slow-mo, in a weightless motion. She called me crazy and I'm wasting time. Don't leave me now.
Wheels are washed and this sprocket is cleaned. At least now they are not muddy, but still there needs to be stripped of paint and done properly. Now since those parts are painted, I brought them to another room. You can see, you can hear echo here inside this room. Here I have a big radiator, so it's much warmer than in that other room. And now I'm waiting for this paint to dry. Here are the rest of the parts. Here is the end of this video, since this video is already over the 15 minutes. In the next video I will start to assemble everything back together, at least frame and all of those parts. I'm gonna wait until tomorrow for paint to harden a little bit before I start to work on them. Thank you for watching this video. I'm hoping that you will be there for the next, and if you have some advice for me for this rebuild or for the video, share it with me. Thank you for watching and see ya.